Yeah, well, you can read about that king in Second Kings, starting at 18, 19. Well, starting at 18, he's mentioned at 18, 19, and 20. So I'm gonna look him up. I'm pretty sure I'm pronouncing his name right. It's Cherub, I guess. Sennacherib. At the conception of Buddha, his mother supposedly saw a great Slovakia white elephant enter her belly. Hinduism has claimed that the divine Vishnu, after reincarnations as a fish, tortoise, boar, and lion, descended into the womb of Devaki and was born as her son Krishna. There is even a legend that Alexander the Great was virgin born by the power of Zeus through a snake that impregnated his mother Olympias. Satan has set up many more such myths to counterfeit the birth of Mashiach in order to make it seem either common or legendary. Modern science even speaks of parthenogenesis, which comes from a Greek term meaning virgin birth. So this shit sound like that shit when I remember there's a video on YouTube when it was talking about Polite, and he was talking about one of his Polite got a lot of little females, you know what I mean? He had a few different women, like he was, thinking he Pharaoh or some shit. But anyhow, he I know one of the females he used to bring out, I want to say one of his children's mothers or whatever, but cause I know he got multiple women that's all down with just they all reside in the same house. So now I ain't about to stay on this. I just, that's it made me think about it. She was kept on saying how the black, because he pushed that bullshit about how the black woman is God, going back to that Queen of Heaven worship bullshit. Anyhow, and she was saying they had a term where they saying how a female was supposed to some old stupid shit, and I don't want to cut it up or slander myself or make myself look foolish, but you'll have to go check it out. But it was some stupid ass term that they try to use, and they try to say it's scientific documentation where a female, because she can basically, like I said, like she can self-impregnate, which is some bullshit. If that is the fucking case, you go back into looking into the Amazonians. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Have you ever really looked at a woman's nature? Like, women don't even fucking like each other. So if women could just have children on their fucking own, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, if you even seen that new Justice League, you know what I'm saying, when you really watched the movie, it showed you them was supposed to be the Amazonians, and no woman had a child except for the fucking queen of the Amazonians. And how did she have a child? From a fucking man. You know what I'm saying? We was just going through this with a fucking 2/3 dude, and he was sitting up there talking about how because we was explaining to him the seed comes from the father, so the child comes from the father. A woman's just like, she's an oven. She's and I've heard women literally say that. I was just an oven. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the spirit. Anyhow, he was like, oh yeah, so you don't go by science because it says 23 chromosomes from the woman, 23 chromosomes from the man. And and he got real offended, and he got, so brothers just kind of shunned him and ignored him. But I was wishing that one of them, and I didn't want to speak up because we trying to hold order, but I was just thinking, I'm looking like, well, it's scientifically impossible for a female to create another fucking female. Only way you're gonna get another male is through a male, because we hold the chromosome, the fucking Y. So, you know what I'm saying? That proves in itself that we fucking create the life. You dumb motherfucker. But anyhow, like I said, the most I just really don't like a lot of these people that they just stuck in delusion. You know what I mean? What's that scripture where he put a strong delusion on them? You know what I mean? Anyhow, in the world of honeybees, unfertilized eggs develop into drones or males. So they try to make it artificial parthenogenesis has been successful with unfertilized eggs of silkworms. I'm not even gonna read this shit. I'll read that though. Nevertheless, religion polls taken over the past several generations revealed the impact of liberal theology and a marked and continuing decline in the percentage of professed Christians who believed in the virgin birth and therefore in the deity of Yahushua Mashiach. One wonders why they want to be identified with a person who, if their judgment of him were correct, had to have been either deceived or deceptive, since all four gospels explicitly teach that Yahushua considered himself to be more than a man, which he was, but at the same time he still came through humans' loins. And see, and that's and I don't have it, my my apocrypha with me, but I know it's a scripture in the apocrypha that Apostle Ramlov used, and it said basically like how all men, from kings to everybody, come through the loins of a man. That's how everybody comes on the earth, but it's in the apocrypha, so I don't know what, what's the scripture. So Salakia for being half prepared or whatnot. Long week, and like I said, I was literally just trying to read out this Bible and pick it. Salakia, this book, and picking apart what I could. But maybe I'll come back and redo the lesson, or post production. I'll add the scriptures if I have the time. It is clear from the New Testament as well as from historical records that Yahushua, his disciples, and all of the early church held him to be none other than the divine Son of Yahweh. Even his enemies knew he claimed such identity. John 5:18-47. Let's read that. But yeah, that's beside the point though. Yeah, we all agree with that. But he's talking about the virgin birth. You got to remember, I forgot what scripture. I think it's in all the Gospels, where he asks Peter, "Who do people say I am?" And he say, they say this and say that, and they say some say you. They said he was a few different people. Then he said, "Who do you say I am?" And he said, "You are the Son of the Most High, or the living power, the Son of the living power." And he said, "Blessed be you," because he said the Most High gave you that knowledge. I'm roughly paraphrasing, but like I said, see how these theologians just skip around and whatnot. Because like I said, he was saying one thing and then just some kind of way went into talking about, because they said he's divine. What do they got to do with the virgin birth though? You know what I mean? So he said 5:18. Therefore the Yahushua sought the more to kill him, because of not only he broken the Sabbath, but said also that Yahweh was his father, making himself equal with Yahweh. I'm not even gonna read this because it's quoting when he spoke on and said he was the Son of the Most High God, and that's what a lot of the Pharisees. Not just that though, because you got to remember when the Messiah raised Lazarus from the dead. They not only wanted to kill the Messiah, they wanted to try and kill Lazarus to cover it up. Just like after he had ascended, out of the tomb. They tried to pay, I think it was the guards, to make it seem like that the disciples and the followers stole the body. So you know what I mean? But I'm not going to even read that because that doesn't pertain to this. It's basically talking about when they sought to kill him because of him saying that he was the Son of the Most High, and then he spoke on, "Verily, verily, I say unto you, the Son can do nothing of himself, but what he seeth the Father do. For what things soever he doeth, these also doeth the Son likewise. For the Father loveth the Son, and showeth him all things that himself doeth, and he will show him greater works than these, that he may marvel." For the Father judgeth no man, but have committed all judgment unto the Son, that all men should honor the Son even as they honor the Father. He that honoreth not the Son honoreth not the Father which hath sent him. Okay. A popular religious personality said in an interview a few years ago that he could not print or in public deny the virgin birth of Christ, but neither could he preach it or teach it. When I have something I can't comprehend, he explains, I just deal with it. Yeah, I should just skip this chapter for real. See, and then he said, but to ignore the virgin birth is to ignore Mashiach's deity, and to ignore his deity is tantamount to denying it. Real incarnation demands a real virgin birth, which is bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's poor taste. It's poor planning on my part to not have the scripture. Even to quote it, even if I couldn't read it, to quote it, you know what I mean? But at the same time, for them to sit up there and say incarnation, it's got to be through the virgin birth, that's bullshit. All men, like I said, it says in scripture, all men come through a man and a woman. That's why it says that a man and a a man will leave his household and take a wife and cleave unto her, and they'll become one, because they're going to lay down and have sex. Anyway, but such unbelief should not surprise us. Unbelief has been man's greatest problem since the fall and has always been man's majority view. But what then, Paul asks us, if some did not believe, their unbelief will not nullify the faithfulness of Yahweh, will it? May it never be. Rather, let Yahweh be found true, though every man be found a liar. Romans 3:3-4. Every faithful prophet, preacher, or teacher at some time has asked when Isaiah and Paul, with Isaiah and Paul, Lord, who has believed our report? Romans 10:16, Isaiah 53:1. But popular opinion, even within the church, has not always been a reliable source of truth. When men pick and choose which parts of Yahweh's word to believe and follow, they set themselves up above his word and therefore above him. And I'm going to read something about that, precept to that. Psalms 138. Psalms 138:2. I will worship toward thy holy temple and praise thy name for thy loving kindness and for thy truth. For thou hast magnified thy word above all thy name. Matthew's purpose in writing his gospel account was partly apologetic, not in the sense of making an apology for the gospel, but in a more traditional sense of explaining and defending it against any salakia, against its many attacks and misrepresentations. Yahweh's humanity was often maligned and his deity often denied, possibly during his earthly ministry and certainly after his death and resurrection. It is likely that Yahweh was slandered by the accusation that he was the illegitimate son of Mary by some unknown man, perhaps a Roman. I don't even know how they come up with that. I think I'm going to skip this. Salakia, bear with me, please. Because like I said, they trying to go. Yeah, Salakia for that. I might just, yeah, I'm gonna skip that virgin birth. I'm gonna go into the fools and the wise men. That's Matthew 2:1-12. Now after Yahushua was born in Bethlehem of Judea in the days of Herod the king, behold, Magi from the east arrived in Jerusalem, saying, where is he who has been born king of the Jews? For we saw a star in the east and have come to worship him. And when Herod the king heard it, he was troubled, and all Jerusalem with him. And gathering together all the chief priests and scribes of the people, he began to inquire. Salakia, he began to inquire of them where HaMashiach was to be born. And they said to him, in Bethlehem of Judea, for so it has been written by the prophet, and you, Bethlehem, land of Judea, Salakia, Judah, are by no means least among the leaders of Judah. For out of you shall come forth a ruler who will shepherd my people, Israel. Then Herod secretly called the Magi and ascertained from them the time the star appeared. And he sent them to Bethlehem and said, go and make careful search for the child. And when you have found him, report to me, that I too may come and worship him. And having heard the king, they went their way. And lo, the star which they had seen in the east went on before them, until it came and stood over where the child was. And when they saw the star, they rejoiced exceedingly with great joy. And they came into the house and saw the child with his